This episode is all about how I really messed up big time. And I'm recording this episode and I wanted to share this story because I don't feel like, mentors, people who coach other people in business talk about their mistakes that often. And this was a doozy of a mistake. Still having some lingering side effects from this mistake that was almost 2 years ago. So let me tell you what happened. So it was October of 2022. I was hurrying through my tasks, trying to get multiple things done at one time. I'm always on 10x speed. I try to do things as quickly as possible, usually because I don't have a lot of time to work. I have maybe, 2 hours or 3 hours, sometimes even 30 minutes, where my daughter, I only had one child at this time, is at school, and then I had to hurry and pick her up, and I was just go, go, go. So every month or so, I delete people on my email list who have unsubscribed from my list because you can't email them. Some people keep them. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Why keep them if they unsubscribed? Why? So I delete those people every month or so to keep my email list to only people who are opening emails. And also, I use Kajabi and you pay for the amount of people that you have on your email list. So if someone is not getting my emails, why would I keep them on my list? So anyway, I was doing that. I was deleting unsubscribers. So I thought, and I was doing it really fast. I think I had like 10 other tabs open. I was trying to get all these things done, and I was just do, click, 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 kind of on autopilot. And in Kajabi, when you delete people from your list, you have to select them and then click delete, and then you have to actually type out the word delete in order to delete them. So it has a kind of a safety net for people like me who are going too fast and not paying attention. Somehow my autopilot brain bypassed all of that, and I ended up deleting my entire email list, which had about 25,000 people on it. And this was not just my email list, it was also all of my customer contacts. Every contact that I had, I deleted. Just want to let that sink in for a minute. So immediately I panic and I'm like, oh my God, I deleted everyone. What happened? And I run to my husband and I just burst into tears because I just knew how bad this was. And oh man, I can still it gives me anxiety thinking about it. So I contacted Kajabi, nothing they could do. They don't keep backups of contacts because each contact is for that person's site, which is a little frustrating. But the good thing is when you delete people in Kajabi, they do send you a CSV file of everyone that you deleted. So it's not like everything was lost. Thank God. I don't know if all other email service providers do that. Thank God Kajabi did. So I did get an email with all of the contacts. However, it wasn't just as simple as re-uploading them because I lost all tagging, which meant people come into my list for different types of freebies because they're interested in different types of things. All of that information was lost. Even though it did have the tags in the CSV file, when I re-uploaded them, it did not keep those. It was all messed up. Also, when you re-upload contacts, it doesn't restart their payments if they were doing a subscription, like a payment plan. It doesn't re-grant them access to your programs. I had over 2,000 paying members that lost access to everything. I had probably 200 people who were still paying with a payment plan whose payment plans stopped. And so I didn't get the rest of that money. It was a nightmare. So I was able to take the next week or so and fix as much as possible. Thankfully, everyone was very patient and gracious with me as I re-granted access and tried to figure things out. I also, if people had paid me through PayPal and they had a payment plan, they had to re-sign up in order to finish their payments. Now, I granted them access back to the program, but a lot of them didn't re-sign up to pay, which, I get it. It was my fault. So I lost, thousands of dollars because of that. luckily, people who had paid me with a credit card, I could go in and just restart their payments to finish out what they owed. So anyway, it was a living nightmare for about a week there. And I'm still, like, there's still things that just aren't quite right inside of my system with my contacts. So we just kind of fix those as we come to them. But man, when I tell you that was the biggest mistake I have made in my business, it was a lot. It was a lot. Lost a lot of money. And it was just from a dumb mistake that could have been avoided. So I wanted to tell you that for a few reasons. One, I know that when I was in the beginning of my business, I would look to people who I thought were successful and think, man, once I get there, like, I'll have it all figured out and I won't really make mistakes and it's just going to be, smooth sailing. And that's not true. Everyone, no matter what stage they are in their business, they're making mistakes. I make mistakes all the time and it's fine. It is fine. It is going to happen. I now come to expect mistakes so that when they do happen, I'm not as surprised. But this is just an encouragement to you to know that even people who you think have quote unquote made it, or people who you think are successful, they're still screwing up all the time. And it's okay. It is okay. So give yourself some grace. So what did I personally learn from this? Well, number one, Lindsay, slow down. Slow down. You don't have to get it all done at once. Do one thing at a time. Close out all those tabs. Quit trying to multitask because something is going to slip between the cracks when you do that. So now I have really tried to slow down and be intentional and do one task at a time and pay attention to what I'm doing instead of just running on autopilot and click, click, click and just going, 1,000 miles a minute. Also, I have really cut back on caffeine, which sounds so silly, but I am naturally just a morning person and super energetic in the mornings. At night, I'm not, but I realized that when I was drinking coffee, it would give me almost anxiety and just like, I've got to get it all done right now. And if I don't know what's going to happen. The world's going to end. And man, I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So I now drink either half calf or even decaf coffee. I know that's not for everyone, but that really helped me to slow down and kind of chill out a little bit. Also, triple check things as I'm doing things, doing tasks. Just make sure that I am paying attention. Now I don't even do that task anymore because I have anxiety just thinking about deleting people. So now I have a team member that goes through and she deletes unsubscribers every 2 weeks or every month. But yeah. And again, I just expect myself to make mistakes because I am human. I'm not perfect. And when I make mistakes, I think, okay, this is no fun, but what can I learn from this so that moving forward, I can take this data, whether it's a launch mistake. I think I did an episode on the launch mistakes I have made. I try not to think about it as a mistake, but more as how can I learn from this and move forward in a different way so that this doesn't happen again and I am a better person, better business owner. So yeah, that was the biggest mistake I probably have made in my business. Again, still dealing with the repercussions of that almost 2 years later. But big picture, it's okay. It's okay. I deleted 25,000 people and we figured it out and we are still going and we're moving on. And when you make a mistake, I hope you can think, what can I learn from this? You can wallow for a minute because I definitely cried like the whole day. Wallow, but then pick yourself up and move on. You got this. All right. I hope this was helpful learning about how even people that you think are successful can really screw up big time and it's fine. And I'll see you guys next week.